Guys, the 2022 season's here. Are you ready? It's
Yes.
week one. I got Coach Mark Salyers, Sheldon France, MJ is in the house. He's part of our new staff. We're in a new studio. We're in a new facility. This is a lot different than my third bedroom that I made into a studio.
I like it. A lot better.
Real nice.
Well, we appreciate Cool Hits allowing us to do it down here. We got a lot to talk about because we were kind of crunched for time in the off season. Of course, me and Coach were at all the 7-on-7s, and of course, we went to a couple of the scrimmages. We got to see a couple of the area teams, and we just got our cameras in 3 days ago, MJ, something like that.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
not that long ago. And I'm gonna tell you something, guys. Keep the camera on you. This guy right here has done everything for us these last hour. He has really went out of his way to make this show great, and we truly appreciate it.
It's just a good thing you can't see the floor behind the camera.
It is. But I tell you what, we appreciate you, man, and we're glad that you're here. And
Yes.
well, at least we know one person knows what's going on.
I don't know about that.
Thank you.
I'm just pushing buttons and plugging in wires.
Well, okay. Well, before we get into week one picks, I always like to talk a little bit about college football. And the AP poll just came out. And if people are watching, they don't know, I'm sitting next to a Buckeye, next to him's a Buckeye, and MJ's a Buckeye. So guys, the number 2 rating for the Buckeyes, is it valid or is it overrated?
It's valid.
Be honest.
It's valid.
Based on what?
Based on
Returning quarterback?
We got.
Okay, you lost Olavier, you lost Garrett Wilson.
And we replace and we reload.
Let's hear it.
Next man up.
Reload, okay. Let's hear it. So what makes Ohio State the second best team in the country?
I think the leadership of C.J. Stroud. I mean, when you got a quarterback that's going to be a Heisman candidate, and they've still got a couple of the good receivers that's come back. They did lose a lot of the receivers, but they got a recruiting class that was second to none. I mean, they're right up there with the Alabamas, the Georgias.
Second to Texas A&M.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, that's true.
Texas A&M, by the way, they finished first, not Ohio State. If you didn't know that.
That's fine.
All right. Well, okay. So Kentucky comes in at 21st, the highest preseason ranking.
I thought it was
Kentucky's
20.
had. No, I think it's 20. Maybe it was 20. I think in coach's poll and AP's
I
different.
thought it was 20.
Coach Stoops done a great job on his recruiting class this last year. He's got some of the local players around here. I mean, I was really surprised about that. You got the kid from Johnson Central, the Bingham boy.
Bingham.
I look for him to step in there, maybe even start this year as a freshman, true freshman.
I don't know about starting. But he's going to get significant playing time because they graduated a lot of guys.
Yeah.
They're going to have to, you can't just sit and redshirt guys. I mean, especially with how thin they're going to be at the line. And you got to count injuries. So, Kentucky goes to the Swamp, week 2?
Yes.
They go to the Swamp after they play Miami, Ohio. They'll blow the doors off them. And then they go to the Swamp, a team who's going to come in very, very pissed off that they got whooped at Lexington. And truthfully, they lost on a blocked field goal return touchdown.
They got a new coach, too. And he's going to have to feel his way.
I'll tell you what, the Rocky Way.
Gillum Drug, 1237 Carter Avenue, Ashland, is a locally owned pharmacy devoted to providing excellent customer service, not found at the chain drug stores, and Gillum Drug will treat you like family. Stop by today and experience it. Gillum Drug, next to Domino's.
Here at Infusion Solutions, one of the things that we're most proud of is the relationship that we develop with our patients.
From the people on the phone to the delivery drivers, I mean, these people are a part of my life. They take care of me. I would recommend Infusion Solutions to anybody.
Discover what we're all about right now at Infusion Solutions.
All right, now we're good.
We're good?
After this, we'll go.
AJ, talk about that. All right, guys, we are back, and we lost a little bit of camera feed there, but it's no big deal because MJ McKay knows exactly what he's doing. And I'll tell you what, if he wasn't here, we would be going, you know, that's the show. Yeah. We don't know what we're doing now. But we were talking about UK, and we were talking about how they were 20 or 21st, whatever, in the poll. Highest rating I can ever remember in the preseason since I've been watching Kentucky football, and we had some bad years. Is this the year Kentucky challenges Georgia in the East? Tell me.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. I mean, Georgia's coming in, you know, they got a lot to replace. And it's Georgia, and I know they do well recruiting, and they have plenty of guys sitting back there waiting, you know. But if Kentucky's going to do anything, if Kentucky's going to beat Georgia this year, we'll have a legit shot just to be the time.
So you think this is Kentucky's, if they don't do it this year, you might as well wait another 5 years?
I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say
Game's at home this year.
It's at home.
It'll be a prime time unless CBS takes it for 3:30, which I hate those games. And it's better than Ohio State playing at noon every game.
Yeah.
Oh, how do you guys like that? Unless ABC gets the game, Ohio State's at noon. That's how it always is.
Like I said, this is their time.
I think so.
And,
Coach?
and if they don't take advantage of it, I don't know.
I like the chances of Kentucky giving them, you know, if they don't win the ball game, they're going to give them a really good game for the, because Coach Stoops is, he's got the guys believing down there in UK, system going straight, and you know, I think a lot of the viruses maybe in the past, the hard times, I think it's over. I think the recruiting classes he's getting in, he's brought the program a long ways, and I think the kids down in Kentucky believe, and it's an opportunity for them, and I think it's a time that they step up and show what Kentucky football's about.
Now, let's go ahead and, since this is our preseason show, we could do this next week, but I'm going to go ahead and do it anyways. Sheldon's not a Browns fan, so his opinion doesn't really matter. Coach Salyer's just not a Browns fan either, so his opinion doesn't really matter either. You're Bengals, ain't you? Who are you? You
Broncos.
Broncos. I forgot about
I'm in
that.
the same division.
You're Bengals.
I'm a Raiders fan.
Raiders? Was this 1958?
1969.
Okay, well, I'll say first off, both y'all's teams play in the toughest division of football now. First off.
Yes, we do.
Second off.
And we will see the Raiders twice.
And we'll see the Broncos.
And the Chiefs. And the
That'll be the
Chargers.
best division to watch in football this year.
Yeah.
It'd be like watching Russell Ashland and East Carter and Greenup this year.
Sure.
I'm telling you, it's open.
We're gonna be
A lot of great quarterbacks.
The only team that I don't think
A lot
can
of
win
great
it is the
quarterbacks.
Broncos.
Yeah.
Don't think they can win it?
No,
You don't think so?
no. Who they got on defense, Sheldon?
Who they got?
Nobody.
We got
Bradley
the best-
Chubb?
We got probably
Bradley
the best,
Chubb?
We got the best young corner in the game right now.
Who?
Dude from Alabama there. I can't
Well,
remember.
okay, I'll believe you. So,
Surtain, is that his name?
So, I'll just ask you this, because none of us are Bengals fans. The Bengals win the division this year?
No doubt.
You think so?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, they do.
I'm going to disagree. I'm not going to say the Browns do. I think the Ravens will.
No.
I think the Ravens will. I think that they've really, really stacked up front in this offseason. And I think that, when a team gets hot, they get hot, Sheldon. And I think that, if you go back and look at last year, the Browns and Bengals played twice. The Browns beat them both times. Yeah. But they were hot at the end of the year, and they were in position. I think they rode that momentum to the Super Bowl. That won't happen this year. That won't. It's kind of like a, ooh, you snuck up on me factor. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
Because people really didn't take the Bengals seriously. Because guess what? They're the Bengals. So they didn't take them as seriously.
They probably will this year, though.
No, they ain't sneaking up on anybody this year because all they've seen all offseason is Jamar Chase getting thrown to by Joe Burrow. I can tell you right now, Jamar Chase is a wanted man by every corner in the league. They're going to put their best corner on him. They're going to say, you're going to follow him everywhere on the field. No matter if he goes up into the stands in row 14, you're going to be right there with him. Wait and see. So
smart move.
Give me a Super Bowl winner, because we're going to go back and look at this after the Super Bowl. Give me a Super Bowl winner. MJ, you're included in this. A Super Bowl winner. Coach, go first. Super Bowl winner. Not teams play. I want a winner.
You want a team for the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
I guess I'm going to have to go with my Raiders, to be honest with you.
See? It's typical Buckeye fan.
You got to ask them.
We have not seen Carr or Devontae Adams yet. And, with the, getting Devontae Adams and some of the guys they've got.
We're going to say Broncos.
I'm going to go with the Broncos.
You guys, I think the Rams repeat. I think Aaron Donald is too much for a lot of the offensive lines. I think the Rams repeat. First time in how long has it?
It's been a while.
Well, Patriots probably did.
Patriots, Cowboys.
I'm sure it's Patriots. Got to be.
Give me the Rams again. MJ, he's going to get it right, and we're all going to get it wrong.
I don't know about that. I don't even have an idea. I'm going to go for a complete upset.
Okay.
And say the Titans.
That's not an upset. Titans are tough. Now they did lose Brown to Philly, right? Am I right about that? Yeah. They lost A.J. Brown to Philly, didn't they?
Yeah.
So if Derrick Henry stays healthy, that he's the best running back in the league. And Tannehill, he's yet to show he can win the big games. I like the pick though. I'm not sure if it's an upset pick. I thought you were going to say Seattle or something. When he said I'm going to pick upset, I was like, no. This guy's really about to pick Arizona or something. So no, I like it. But guys, Sean's not able to join us here tonight. He had to move his daughter into UK. Sean will be here next week, but he sent me his picks. But we're going to go in order here. This is no order. This is just an order that I wrote down on my list and sent to these guys. Sheldon had to pick the phone out because he couldn't remember who he picked. So, Coach, Pulaski and Belfry.
I'm going to go with Pulaski by at least 2 touchdowns. The reason why is because, they say this is the Arch Bowl. That's what they made this bowl game out to. And I was looking at the Pirates, the Maroon Pirates is what they're called. They've got 3 all-state receivers back with a quarterback that's pretty tough. And looks like they're going to put the ball in the air. And Belfry's, under Coach Haywood, they've lost quite a bit. But they do have the Hatfield brothers back. And they got the running back, is a junior, Colton Wooden. And they're going to come out, run the ball, try to take the time off the clock like they always do, and they'll be satisfied with a 14-7 game or 21-7.
You're talking about Belfry?
Belfry.
So this is just a typical Haywood game.
It's a typical Haywood game. That's the only thing that he can do, I think, to slow this team, Pulaski County, down. You remember Pulaski County really took it to Belfry last year.
Beat them bad.
And I think if Pulaski County can get out of the box, throwing the ball, and they get up on them 2 or 3 scores, we'll see that same thing that occurred last year. If Coach Haywood and the Pirates can actually dominate the ball, the time of clock on it and everything, I think it'll be a ball game.
So your game's going to be decided in the trenches.
I think it's going to be decided in the trenches, but I still think Pulaski County by 2 touchdowns.
Pulaski 2. Pulaski Belfry, Sheldon.
I'm going to say Pulaski County.
Typical Buckeye. Changed it at the last second.
I didn't change nothing. I'm
whatever.
Pulaski.
Well, now tell me, give me a spread. Since you're just going to say Pulaski, give me a spread.
I'm going to say 2 touchdowns.
14.
14. Be 20. I mean, the way he said they can throw the ball, I don't follow him a whole lot. But Belfry has lost a lot, And Pulaski comes back with, like you said, all 3 all-state, 3 all-state players. And that says a lot. You know, if you're coming back from last year's team
Yeah.
that beat them last year, what, like, was 49-7?
It was bad.
And where's
Pulaski
the
County
game
was
played?
10-3 last year,
And where's
right?
the game
Yeah.
played at?
They were 10-3 last year.
Well, they're playing in Belfry.
And they are playing at Belfry, which is a little bit, but this Williams boy and this Godby boy at receivers, you got to think Williams, I think, had 900 yards last year. Godby had over 1,000 and 17 touchdowns. I mean, they put the ball in the air, but the receptions was phenomenal for these two young men. Now, they both were way over 50 receptions apiece. And that's in high school football, you know. So they're going to put the ball in the air. It's going to be tough on Belfry.
So, Pulaski. I'm going to take Pulaski also, but I think 14's light. I'm going to put 28 on it. I think that Belfry goes and gets slacked, and I think at home too. And it's not anything against Belfry. They're going to have the same problem that Ashland's going to have. They're going to have a lot of talent on the field, but experience matters in high school football, and they don't have that. And think about it. They won that game last year, what, by 42 with Isaac Dixon on the field.
Yes. Yeah, they
So
did.
guess what? You don't replace guys like Isaac Dixon. You just don't do it.
And
So,
another thing is Mickey Hayden. This is going to be starting quarterback for Pulaski County.
Yeah.
He was the gentleman that left last year, and now he's back.
Yeah.
He would have started last year for Pulaski
I
County.
think Pulaski running
So,
away.
think about it.
Pulaski running away.
Could possibly get
The
that.
only way that Belfry stays in this game, and I'm going to say this and it's going to bite me in the rear end, is if Pulaski's kids get motion sickness on the way to Belfry. That's just what I mean, that's the only way. Have you ever heard that one
The
before?
Mountain Air get to him.
You ever heard that one before?
Yeah, I don't think that's going to
Hey, there
play no
used
role
to-
in that game.
We'll move on, and game that got moved was originally supposed to play at home for a team who's getting a new turf field. They had to move it, so they moved it to Ohio. It's going to be on Saturday night. I'd say it's a pretty good chance all of us will be there. Raceland hosts the Ashland Tomcats in Wheelersburg, which Fred's Pizza will be bumping that day. Guys, me and you especially got to see a bunch of Raceland and Ashland in passing. I got to watch a little bit of tape from, you know, Belfry and Jackson, those scrimmages that Raceland and Ashland took on. I'm going to let you guys pick first. Sheldon, go first.
I'm going to say Raceland. Because they got the experience, you know, and they got the it factor. And they've been, you know, they've been grinding every year to beat Ashland. And that's, you know, what they want to do to start out a good season. And I understand that, you know, but Ashland got to, you know, they got some reloading to do and some people to put in some key, you know, pieces missing, but now they got to, you know, put them in place. But I think they'll be all right. But I think at the end of the day, Raceland will beat them. Raceland will beat them with experience.
Well, let's see here. Sheldon and
So, hang on one second, Coach. So you think that experience outweighs talent, but you think Ashland has more talent.
Ashland has a talent, but they're young.
So you think inexperience cost
Yeah.
Ashland the game?
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm
Coach.
going to say Raceland.
I'm gonna agree with Coach here on that, and it's hard for me since I'm a former Tomcat coach,
Typical
and I wish the
Buckeyes,
kids
you know,
all
what
the
you guys
best. But the bottom line is, like you said, Coach Tackett, his first year, he's going to have to come out. You know, we've lost quite a bit up front, and I always said this: defensive lines win state championships. And you know, we
Notice
lost.
he said we. How come you don't say that?
And four,
I didn't go to Ashland.
four of the kids that we had up front last year, if we ran a 4-front or 3-front, which we ran mostly a 3-front, they're all gone.
Yeah.
And so we have to replace them. Ashland has two wonderful linebackers back. I mean, you know, they're strong. And then the secondary, I think with what I've seen so far preseason and what Raceland's got coming back with the experience, Lundy seemed to be more comfortable in the pocket. He threw very well in preseason so far, you know, in the scrimmage games and at these 7-on-7s. It's going to be tough. If you don't get some pressure on him, he could have a field day there for the Rams against the Tomcats. But, you know, I look for some of these young kids at Ashland to step up their game, and it's their opportunity. There's time.
Okay, but for both of you guys, you kind of agree here. You say inexperience and experience on the other side of the
Yeah.
ball is going to cost Ashland.
Yeah.
But, okay, spread.
Ooh.
How much does inexperience mean to you in a spread? And, okay, I'll make it easier while you're thinking about that.
Yeah.
Would it surprise you if Ashland won?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it really
So they're big dogs. If Sheldon's saying that,
really
he's
will. I
17
mean, I'm
or more.
not-
He's
no dis-
17 or more.
You know, no disrespect to Ashland, but I'll say this right here. Like I said again, Raceland has been grinding, and they want this game. And if they get a chance, they will stick it to Ashland pretty good. And I'll say this right now, 35-14 Raceland.
That's fair. What do you think, Coach? About something similar?
I was going to go 28-14.
Well, you guys disagree? Y'all
And
feel all right?
It's early in the season.
Yeah,
You know,
and
a lot of
That's
points.
a lot of points to be
A lot of
scored early in
points.
the season.
It is.
And it's just, you know, the ground game and getting it going. When you got a lot of young kids, there's a lot of penalties. There's a lot of things that you're going to see out of the box that, you know, getting your time and your rhythm down. I think Raceland's time and rhythm is way above everybody else right now, at this point.
Okay. I knew the hype going into the year for Raceland. In the preseason, I picked them to win the state title in 1A.
Yeah.
I think if they're ever going to do it, it'll be this year.
This will be the area.
This is the year. I think this has the chance to be the best Raceland team they've ever had.
This team is built for state.
The only
But-
thing that beat Raceland is Raceland itself.
Or Pikeville. yeah. Well, historically.
I mean, you know, you're right.
Yeah, or Pikeville. So, historically,
You're right.
you know, Pikeville's gotten the better of Raceland the last couple times.
They have.
Well, anyways, I think Raceland wins this game, similar to what you guys think. I think the inexperience at key positions for Ashland will cost them the game. I think it's a close game. I don't think this is a runaway game. Ashland's got inexperience, sure, they do. But guess what? They've got a lot of talent.
Yeah, they do.
They got a lot of speed.
I agree.
And when you, especially when you add, yes, I know Pittman left, that's a huge loss, but they've got Asher Atkins, a guy who played basketball his whole career, never played football in Tomcat uniform, looked great in passing league, didn't he? He did.
Who was it?
Asher Atkins.
Asher.
Looked great in passing league. I know it's passing league, it's easy because you're just basically out back throwing the football to your best friends, whatever.
Exactly.
But still, and the Schrader kid, I know they were short routes, nickel and dime it, he's great. I think he's going to be, I think he has a chance to be the all-time leading passer in Ashland history. I think he does. I think he's very accurate. He seemed calm under pressure. Now that's without defensive linemen like me and Sheldon run at you. Now he probably wouldn't be scared. He'd probably throw a dart. But I think it's a close game. I'm gonna go Raceland.
Right now.
But I think the game stays under 10 for a long time.
Okay, what's the score? What's your score?
13. I think that's the
What's
spread.
score?
23-10.
Are you getting a field goal in there?
Yeah.
Somebody gonna kick a field goal?
Yeah.
Who?
Raceland's got one of the best kickers in the area.
Who you get?
Peyton Hudson.
Ashland got a field goal kicker?
I'm sure they do. They just be getting soccer kids now. The Watkins kid was really good.
I know.
That's what everybody does now.
Oh, yeah.
The
You gotta-
soccer
you gotta
kids. I
kick-
mean,
you gotta
the
kick-
Taunton kid for Russell, by the way,
You gotta kick field goals. You gotta, hey, that's a
and the Thompson kid, I believe that's his name, at Boyd County, they're D1 kickers.
Yeah.
I mean, they are phenomenal. I mean, do you remember the boy that played at Johnson Central a couple years ago, that kicker they had? Do you remember when he lined up over to Ironton and kicked that 65-yarder? They were up, 30 at the time, and they lined up and kicked that.
Willisburg had a kicker.
Williamsburg had a nice kick.
You're talking about Salmons.
No, yeah, Pack is the one that.
You're
kicked.
talking about, yeah, Pack was
Pack
at
is the one that
Johnson
kicked it.
Central. Salmons is the one you're talking about.
For Willisburg?
That is
No,
actually
that's
Eli
for
and
Johnson.
Mason's
That's a kicker.
cousin.
At Ironton, he kicked it over
Yeah.
on the opening kickoff.
Yeah.
He kicked it over the, you know where the band sits?
Yeah, yeah.
Over the fence into the church parking lot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
A kind of phenomenal kick.
Well,
And then he also kicked against Greenup. He kicked a
that
89-yard
one
punt,
against-
60 of it in the air.
Then he kicked the one against Ashland, didn't he?
Yeah.
Is that the same kid?
He kicked against everybody.
Yeah.
He destroyed
yeah.
the football.
Yeah.
And he was a soccer player.
Yeah.
At 6'5", 280, soccer player.
Wow.
well, there's another game going on Saturday night, a big game. East Carter's traveling to Montgomery County. Montgomery County's got some classes coming up. Of course, we all are familiar with what East Carter did last year. Not only did they win the district, they marched all the way to the semi-state title game. And I'll tell you what, if they didn't get stopped on the goal line there right before halftime, that's a different game.
Yeah.
Because that ended up being a 14-point swing, and let me tell you why. The next play, Belfry went, 76 yards? I mean, 2 plays later, they went 76 yards on a Dixon run and scored right before half.
Yeah.
If
That hurt.
East Carter scores there, you never know what happens.
That-
I think that depleted them, but either way, East Carter returns a lot of talent. You want to talk about Boggs, Messer. They got the East Tech kid from West Carter coming over, a guy who's a really good quarterback for West last year. Coach, I'm going to let you pick first. I'm going to let you pick. Montgomery and East.
I checked on Montgomery. Montgomery being a 5A school,
It should count for something.
They should win this game.
They
But
should.
here again, and they got a few kids back, I noticed on looking on their roster. But I thought at first I was going to go with Montgomery County, but I think I'm going to go with East Carter.
Yeah.
I think Coach Champ, he's done a great job out there, and he's another coach that's got them believing, got them on a system going. And I remember those days when we talked, when I was at John Central, and we talked, and I coached with him in an All-Star game 2016. And he talked to me about, what do we got to do at East Carter to win? Because we're 0-9, 0-10, and then we go 3 years and not win but maybe one football game. Yeah. I said, lower your standards down, lower your, as far as who you play, get some wins, get your kids believing, and build it from there. And that's what he done. And I'm gonna tell you what, he brought it to us last year at Ashland, and they beat us. They got in there and they wanted it more there at the end, and they beat us. Granted, we had a lot of guys that we lost for the season.
You had to throw that in there, didn't you?
Yeah, I had to throw that in there. But I was impressed with Coach Champ, the way he directed his team, and he's got a lot of heart. And then, like I said, he gets out there and gets those guys motivated. I look for him to be a challenge in the district again this year. I think he's. I'm going to give him 14 points over.
I'll let you go last this time.
14 over Montgomery.
I agree. I agree with almost everything you said. Having talent and knowing how to win are two different things, Sheldon.
True that.
If you've got a bunch of kids who've been, thumped on their whole life, guess what? That's the only thing they know until last year. And I know that group that came through, they'd always thumped everybody they played. The Terry and Cozy kid and Goodman, that group was special the whole time they played together. Even in JFL, they were good. A lot of key pieces come back from that team. East Carter goes to Montgomery. It's on a Saturday. They played there last year. Give me East Carter. I think it's closer than that, though. I think 7. And I agree with what you said. Tim Champlin has done as good a job as anybody could ever do at East Carter. Give me East Carter 7.
I'm gonna agree with y'all. I'm gonna go with East Carter because he has done a wonderful job here in the last 3 or 4 years there with the team. He's got them believing, like you said. They're playing in his system, and I'm gonna say East Carter. But I don't know. I'm gonna say I don't know a whole lot about Montgomery County. I know in the past they usually has a decent team, and like you said, Coach, they're 5A and they should win the game. But East Carter has been playing very well here the last few years, so I'm gonna go with East by 7.
Okay. Well, we will take a quick commercial break, and when we come back, we've got several more games we've got to talk about. You are watching Eastern Kentucky Athletics and Cool Hits TV Network, Sports Central, the first episode of the year.
In the upcoming election, vote Eric Ross for Carter County Sheriff. Eric is an experienced police officer and a dedicated family man. With a 10-point plan, he will work to unite Carter County, increase community involvement, and improve the function and availability of the Sheriff's Department. With your support, we can make Carter County stronger together and a better place to live. Vote for Eric Ross for Carter County Sheriff. Paid for by candidate.
Hey, I'm Erin.
And I'm Michael. Come see us at Bowman's.
And I wish we had a off-air camera that could have showed us, maybe not any audio, just the off-air antics that were going on. Guys, there's another game going on. This one I believe will be in Ohio, though. It's when the Boyd County Lions travel to South Point. Let's just call it what it is. Boyd County handled them last year. Beat them bad. South Point's historically really awful at football. I'm not knocking them. That's what they are. If you look like a horse, you're a horse. And so Boyd County, and we got to watch them a couple of times in scrimmages. They're improving. I think they're still yet to take that next step to be a team that can win the district and go on and challenge, the other teams in 4A, They're not a team that can necessarily compete with Boyle County. They're not on that, or Corbin, or anything like that. But at this point, I don't know. At this point, I think I'll go first this time. I think Boyd County wins, and I think it's running clock. You go ahead.
I agree with you. I picked them pretty high on the list this year, beginning of season.
You put them 5 preseason.
I picked them number 5 in preseason. They gave us fits at Boyd County last year in Ashland.
Yeah, well, how'd you guys win that game again? I can't remember.
Well, Spence, it's a Texas A&M play.
The 12th man.
The guy on the field. The guy on the field. But no, all kidding aside.
That's not how you won the game.
No, that's not how we won the game. But they play hard, and I always said if Boyd County can keep a coach for 5 or 6 years and quit getting rid of their coaching staff every other year, let's build from down. They're losing a lot of players that needs to stay in that system. They've got some talent. They got some talent. And in these 7-on-7 scrimmage games I've watched, I've been really impressed with them. They're kind of getting back to what they did last year, and they were on up and down. But I really look for them to go over, run a clock, maybe right after halftime.
Open practice.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
I agree with Coach there. This guy's done a good job.
Coach Ferguson has done phenomenal.
Like you said, let the man, coach. Give him a few years. Was his 3rd year there, maybe?
Speaking of that, me and you were leaving the
Something like
Ashland game last year. And what did we say? We said if they got rid of Ferguson, that they would lose support from the community.
Yes. This guy, let him coach. Like you said, let him build.
Yeah.
Boyd County's been down a lot of years, a lot of years.
They've had some
And I know
trouble.
Coach, I talked to him at 7-on-7 out there, and they have a player that's an all-state candidate. He's that good.
Yeah.
But did he come out? I know he hadn't come out yet, and he'd been calling Coach Ferguson and asking him, I'm coming out, and Coach Ferguson, he's got to have a disciplinary part there as a
I can
coach.
make the argument, besides football, Boyd County's been the most successful in all sports.
And I don't know if the young man came out finally or not. Did the Collins young man come out? I didn't watch the final.
He is not.
He's not come out.
He has not come out.
And that hurts them.
That hurts them bad.
Sometimes it's a virus, but sometimes a good athlete
it hurts them.
can change your game.
It hurts them.
Yeah, it does. It really hurts them as far as play.
So Boyd County easy all around.
Sure.
I'm going to save this next game for last because this might be the game because I'm keeping Pick'em and I'm going to rub it in your face. This might be a Pick'em changer right here, but I'm going to do a game that means more to me than most of these. Not, of course, I got about 3 games here that mean a lot to me, but this one in particular because my boy plays for him. Russell has Boone County at home. Okay. Russell went there last year. They got out with a win. It was an ugly type of game. Boone County made a lot of mistakes. Russell made a lot of mistakes. Russell's quarterback didn't play the entire second half. He was battling some of the worst cramps I'd ever seen. I'm biased in my opinion. I am a little bit. But I think just from what I saw at West Jessamine, Russell looked really good, man. I think Russell gets the win against Boone County. And I think it's by multiple scores. I'm going to say 10. Go ahead.
Me?
Yeah.
I'm gonna stick with Russell. Because to me, Boone County has been irrelevant. I don't know, man. The last 10 or 15 years, they've not really been that good. Not the Boone County of old.
Yeah.
The Boone County that I remember. And Russell, and I see them locally all the time. And I'm gonna go with Russell.
Well, before I go to the next game, I want to talk a little bit about this district right after your pick.
I'm going to kind of keep it,
before you say it, I saw who you picked before, so you better not change it now that.
I did a little research. I got to also say, Coach, we're both Russell guys.
Right.
Once the devil, always the devil.
Right.
We know that. But I don't want to go with my heart because I'm looking it over. Boone County's got a quarterback back, 2 good running backs back. I think it's going to be a very close game. And I did earlier think about Boone County, but Russell's scrimmage game, that last scrimmage game, kind of changed me where I'm going with
Before
this.
you go any further, Boone County's quarterback is actually not back at quarterback.
I thought he was back.
No, they've got another guy running quarterback, big kid, big, about
Big.
6'3", 6'4", and he's every bit of 250 pounds.
But they do have the two running backs back. And,
They
and like Spence said, we don't, Sheldon said there a while ago, they're not the Boone County of I go all the way back in the 70s, 80s, 90s, and then being a coach for all these years, I've seen quite a few. They're not the Boone County that they have been in the past.
Yeah.
They don't come in and overpower people. They should from this area, but they don't. And it's up to Russell. I think if Russell gets the ball to Patrick and his quarterback can get in there and get established with the running game and get the ball throwing down and get the ball to Patrick early, and he makes the plays that he can make, I look for 14-7 Russell.
The Pat kid, the quarterback at Russell, played really well against West Jessamine. And West Jessamine was a very physical, they're big up front, they're a very fast team. Now, they're not a team that, will challenge for a state championship, but that was a really good scrimmage for Russell.
Yes.
I think that, now, I'm going to go a step further. This district this year, and I've had all the coaches ask me, I've had parents ask me, even my girlfriends ask me, and I give them all the same. I can't pick a winner out of this district. I'm telling you right now, boys, Greenup's going to be good.
Yeah,
East Carter is good again. Ashland's going to be Ashland, and Russell's going to be Russell. You pick one. Put them in a hat and pick one out, and I'll support it. Because I'm telling you right now, it would not surprise me to see East repeat. It would not surprise me to see Greenup win the district. It wouldn't surprise me to see Russell win the district, and it wouldn't surprise me to see Ashland win it. I'm telling you right now. I know Sheldon don't put a lot of stock in that.
Hey.
I'll go a step further. The two best players in that district are not in Boyd County. They're not in Carter County. Carson Patrick, Tyson Sammons. That's your two best players in that district.
Greenup.
That's your two best players in that district.
Good players.
Great players.
Great players.
And then you got to think about Boggs and Messer. And there's another Goodman kid coming up for East Carter. I mean, East Carter's really big up front. And then Ashland will be Ashland.
That's good.
Have you ever seen a really just awful Ashland team ever? I mean, just terrible. Never.
No, like I said,
Traditions.
Maybe a bad, not maybe a down year, but even a down year, boys, they're 6-4.
This is Tackett's first year, and there's going to be some growing pains.
There will be, I'm telling you.
He got some, like you said, Coach said, he got a lot of young talent, the quarterback is young. You lose your defensive line, then you replace them. 2 excellent linebackers, he says, but if they can get out there and show some leadership, some of the older kids, they'll be, they'll win the game. They'll grind out the wins, what I'm saying.
Ashland.
Yeah, they'll grind out the wins. And I think Ashland, at the end of the year, Ashland will win the district.
Okay.
That's just
I didn't ask for your prediction.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
I told you.
I'm just kidding. But I knew that you would say that because you are a Tomcat.
I am a football fan.
A football fan. Amen. It don't get any better on being
I can't get away with that now because I've been on the air too long.
I'm a football fan.
It is what it is. I'm telling you guys, that will be. You remember how a couple years ago when West Carter's district and that Shelby Valley was really good, Martin County was really good, and it was just an awesome district. That's the way this district's going to be. Yeah. I'm telling you right now.
It's going to be a good district. It's going to be some good games.
I'm telling you right now. And speaking of the Graham County Musketeers, they had to move their home game. Had some problems there with the drainage and their home stands and visitor stands, which they needed new ones.
Yeah.
I mean, it was almost dangerous to go there and watch a game.
Yeah.
You felt like you were going to fall through the stands almost. I think they had wooden bleachers on the visitor side. So They are going to play Fleming County, who I really like Bill Spencer at Fleming County, and I like Zach Moore at Greenup. They're going to play McKCU. Fleming County is always tough, Sheldon. They always got good athletes. You talk about the Pinkley kid last year. They're always tough, man. It's like they're like Oregon. You kind of, where do these guys come from? That they have, do they have a machine that they just breed athletes down there? But Fleming County always has athletes. I'm telling you right now, I'll go first this time. Greenup wins this game, and it'll be their first win non-COVID win since 2020. Give me Greenup.
Me?
Go ahead.
I'll go with Greenup. That's all I got to say.
Give me a spread then if you're just going to say that. Just be safe and
14.
say 7. Okay, 14. Wow, you're getting wild. There you go, Coach.
I think Greenup County is going to beat Fleming. I'm going to say 21-7.
I like that score.
And I really think that Greenup County. I'm a big trench guy. You know, I think Greenup County is going to beat them up front.
Yeah.
And I think with the backfield that Greenup's come, you know, and Greenup likes to throw a lot of quick stuff.
Yeah, and you got to think they got one of the best defensive players in the area coming back in Mason Salmons.
Sure. And I just think, you know, the leadership, and it's their time. And I think they've been a team that's give a lot of the teams in that district, their own district, a lot of great games, just couldn't come over the top. But they're right there. And I don't think Fleming's going to come out and just, or wherever the game's going to be. Is it at Fleming?
It's at KCU. It's actually scheduled a home game for Greenup, and they had to move it.
Okay. So I think regardless on the turf, they're fine. They're going to take it to them. I think 21-7.
Okay. Before I go any further, I want to thank another sponsor, of course, Job's Radiator in Ashland. Guys, if your car's overheating, there's only one place to go, and that's Job's. And Grayson Sanitation. Frank and Travis Rice out in Grayson are big supporters of East Carter, and let me tell you something, you couldn't meet two of the nicer guys that support a football. You know how you always have a couple guys at a program, you know, at a team that, you know, you can't imagine them without seeing those two guys. Yeah. That's the way they are out at East Carter. So, speaking of Carter County, and this is just a little bit to the west, West Carter, of course, Coach Daniel Barker's had some medical issues. He hadn't been able to be at the field, and I've reached out to him, and it seems like he's finally getting better. I mean, they were serious medical issues, and he's getting better, I think. And I haven't talked to him today, but I talked to him the last 2 days. He's getting better. He said that, you know, I talked to him yesterday. He said that he will probably coach from the press box Friday night, and they take on Rowan County. Rowan County is a team, you know, Kelly Ford is a good friend of mine. Rowan County always has some of the best athletes. You talk about Cole Wallace last year, one of the best running backs in the area. What did he rush for? At least 1,700 yards last year, probably. Rowan County is one of those teams that either they're really good or they're South Point bad. There's no in between. You know, they're just. And I think this is going to be another really good Rowan County team. I'll let Coach go first. He's been doing a little research on that. And just remember, before you make this pick, West Carter is going to be starting a quarterback who has no varsity experience.
That's what I took under.
Yeah.
You know, it's like what you said, Coach. It don't matter where I was when I had them at Johnson Central, I had them at Russell, we had them at Ashland. They bring in talent. And a lot of times they, you know, I'm not saying that.
Feeder system.
Yeah, the feeder system must be great up here, but sometimes it just seems like a lot of them are not in the position maybe I would place them in.
Yeah.
If they changed a few position titles around as far as the kids, they would really be successful. But I look for them to handle West, because West is starting a young quarterback, no experience, not a lot of guys back. They've had great seasons in the last few years. You know, upsetting Russell last year, wasn't it?
West?
Russell?
That was 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
2 years ago.
Is it that far so far?
Man, you guys just throw shots on the tables.
But still, yet, Coach, you know, I'm looking this year for Rowan County. I think Rowan County. I'm gonna go big. I'm gonna give Rowan County 28-7.
Okay, I'm gonna go Rowan also. I think that West Carter's got some kids who are used to winning. They're going to come out and they're going to play smart. They're fundamentally sound. Daniel's one of the best coaches. You know, talk about Carter County. You don't talk about Carter County. They got two of the best coaches, not only around here, but in Eastern Kentucky, Tim Chample and Daniel Barker. I think Rowan County gets them, though, a little bit. I think inexperience at key positions, especially at the quarterback role. I think that Rowan County has a decent lead at the end that forces West Carter to throw, and you know, there's mistakes that are made, and that's normal. That's growing pains that you're going to have. Rowan County wins.
And we wish Coach, you know, quick healing.
Yeah.
Getting back on the sidelines where he should be.
He seems like he's doing better.
Yeah.
He's down here. I reached out to him, and you know, I didn't know how serious it was, but it was pretty serious. You know, obviously, I'm not going to just disclose that, but it was pretty serious.
I mean, it's been a tough intake in the last few years with coaches in this area. We've lost some great coaches all around.
You're right.
The most interesting game, this is, of course, the ones that I have interest in. I have 2 or 3 that I have interest in, but this is the most interesting game. Pikeville and Corbin.
Yeah.
That is going to be an absolute showdown. Pikeville's got a new quarterback. I don't know if you guys knew that or not. He's from Pike Central, the Boykins kid. Kid is amazing.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's going to be their permanent quarterback because I've seen film of both.
Yeah.
Now he lines up in the slot sometimes. They're good. So I'm going to make my pick first, and you're all going to think I'm crazy. I think Pikeville wins. I'm going to go Pikeville over the Red Hounds. Give me Pikeville over Corbin.
That's a really good pick.
Is that what you're going to pick?
Yeah, I'm going to stay with Pikeville. I mean, that guy's done a tremendous job there.
McNamee.
I mean, yes, he has. And, I mean, for what they got down there, Pikeville, it's not a big area, or a big, town. I mean, he gets the kids, and he puts the best on the field. He gets the best out. I always said Pikeville is one of them single A teams, and when you're a 4A or a 5 or whatever, you don't want to see. You don't want to see that type of team. You really don't, because you will get embarrassed. And I think Corbin will get embarrassed.
Oh, you're thinking bad.
So I'm going to say Pikeville.
You're thinking that. Let me ask you this. Are you banking that on because their stud left for Boyle, too? Does that play into it?
Yeah, it can.
It can or does?
It can.
Okay. Coach, go ahead.
When you said he left for Boyle County, that's you're going to lose players, and then you're going to bring some players in. I mean, it happens all around. But Corbin is got the tradition same as Pikeville.
They do. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I mean, they play tough in the trenches. There's got some strong country boys. But bottom line is, I'm going to go with Coach. Pikeville seems to be that team you don't want to play. Especially off the beginning of the year, or any time during the year, as that goes. They always come to play. They're always tough. They've got the system down. Coach system, they've always got it down, and they've got it to, their rhythm and timings usually starts off early, and it doesn't go down, and it gets ready for the playoffs. So it's going to be a close one, 14-7, Pikeville.
You speak, you're a football fan, then you'll like this game. Both these teams historically are not, teams that you would say, oh, they're going to come in and play Ashland and win. Lewis County and Morgan are going to play. Lewis County's making strides. Morgan County, they beat a 4A or 5A school last year at Seneca, the first game of the year. That's not old school Morgan County. You see Morgan County on schedule back when I played JV being at half. It was just, it ain't like that no more. And I've actually heard some people that say that Lewis County's not, they're pretty good too. Let me rephrase that. They're pretty good for Lewis County.
Sure.
Like you said, you can't, I'll go a step further. Nick Saban would not have won games, or as many games as what Brian Hoover won at Lewis County last year. Because guess what? And people might get mad at me for saying this. In high school football, it's about Jimmys and Joes. It's not about your scheme. You could have the best scheme in the world. You could run a triple option, reverse, center sneak that, works in practice. You gotta have guys. You gotta have the dudes. And if you don't have them, you can't win. I'll go first. I'm gonna go Morgan County. I think Morgan County, and of course, both teams were scheduled to come there. Lewis was unable to make it for another reason, but Morgan came, and I got to meet and talk to their coaches, and they're just great people. Give me Morgan County, and a close one.
So
close.
You gonna go with Morgan County because you talked to him?
Yeah.
Well, hey, I do one better. Since you talked to him, I'm gonna go with Lewis County because of their uniforms.
Have you seen their uniforms this year?
Yeah, they're pretty clean.
No, really.
Yeah.
They got red helmets now.
Yeah, I know, and I like that. So I'm gonna go with Lewis County.
You like that?
Since you talked to him, since you liked him because you talked to him.
The reason why I'm really picking them is because they got the running back and quarterback back from a team that beat Seneca.
I got you. But I'm gonna go with Lewis County.
You just want to go against me. Typical Buckeye.
I'm staying Vanceburg.
I'm going with Coach. We've seen them on 707. We've seen, they've got some talent. Morgan County does.
They do.
And and I think it'll be about a 14-0.
So you don't think
Morgan
Lewis
Lewis.
even scores?
I don't think Lewis will score.
Wow. Okay. This is a team that's really local to us. We haven't got to see them. They didn't participate in any passing league. They didn't go to their scrimmage games. They were supposed to have one with Lewis and Grant. They didn't go there. So we have no experience with them except for the ones that we saw at Media Day, and that's Fairview. Fairview's going to take on Bath County. And just that screams, I've talked to some of the people around the program. They said we were in no shape to compete in passing league. Well, I can tell you right now, if you're not in any shape to just throw a football around, you're going to be in bad shape when you put a helmet on. So I'm going to go Bath County. I think it's running clock.
I was getting ready to say 34-0.
Yeah, it's Fairview. I'd like to see them start with a win, but
I would too.
They won't be against. They won't be against Bath County.
They've got a couple games on the schedule, especially against Green, Ohio, that they have opportunities.
Yeah.
Here again, that's getting your kids believing again.
Yeah,
Getting the numbers back out at Fairview. You got to get those numbers back out.
Right there.
And you got to get that Little League program back up.
The numbers game hurts Fairview.
The numbers kill them.
They got the new coach there. Well, he coached there before.
Wilcox.
A few years ago, he was there, their offensive coordinator a few years ago.
Yeah.
But and he had a good scheme.
Yeah.
But a lot more talent then. I just don't. Yeah, I mean, he said 34-0. I'm 42-0.
It has. I mean, listen. This is no knock on anybody. I don't know anything about them, and just from what we've been told, that's all we can go by is the information we know. And
Well, they got a good. I can't think of the kid's name. I think he's number 33. They got a really
Harper. Jeremy Harper. That's.
I mean, he's good.
He is. He can play anywhere.
He can play anywhere. Right?
Yeah, he could. I agree.
I mean, he's an excellent linebacker.
But when your coaches, not your coaches, sorry, when people around the program are telling me that you are not even able to compete in a passing league tournament, what am I supposed to think?
Yeah.
You can't even line up and run pass plays down the field. I'm not, that's no knock on anybody. I know that their numbers are down.
And it's going to be a typical, like the last few years with Fairview and stuff. It's going to be typical this Parker kid carrying the ball 30 times a game.
Harper, yeah.
Parker's going to carry the ball 35 times a game.
He's the workhorse.
And the thing about it is,
again, up front, are they going to keep him healthy? Any running back that's good, as long as he can stay healthy, he can put the numbers up. But if you don't have guys up there keeping the guys off of you, you're taking a
that's really the biggest problem that Fairview's had over the years is they've just really been bad up front.
Yeah.
And that's no knock on anybody. When I say this, it's not because, we all see it. It ain't. It's a sky blue during the day. I mean, it's not. I tell you what hurts them. You said earlier, the numbers. That kills them.
And no numbers. They probably got about 25, 30 kids.
And that's the truth.
And you get down through there, you get some injuries. It's hard to make a practice.
It is. And then you're putting kids in that are you love them, that you know their families and stuff, but if you put them in, you're going to get them hurt.
We're practicing with them.
But you know that there's a level of varsity that your body is expected to be at.
Yeah.
And if you're not at that level, you're going to get somebody hurt.
But you still have to play in that district.
That's going to be a really tough ride for Fairview against Paintsville and Raceland.
Betsy Lane in that district now.
Yeah, Betsy Lane ain't done the.
Oh, no.
Now, they did get rid of Chase Smith. But speaking of Betsy Lane, I think I have their game right here.
Yep.
Betsy Lane, they play Prestonsburg. Yeah, Prestonsburg. Both those teams were at me today. Really, that's the first time I'd ever met Betsy Lane's coach. Really great guy. Great guy. And that was, you got to think, at the time that we had media day, coach, that was the day after the floods. And they still came. And they, Shelby Valley, Betsy Lane's in Floyd County, ain't they?
Yes.
Yep.
So, Floyd County is one of the toughest, got hit the hardest by the floods, one of them. So, they still made their way up to media day. Prestonsburg they just haven't been traditional Prestonsburg. You said that about Boone County earlier. Remember how good Prestonsburg used to be back in the day?
Yeah,
I remember when they went over and beat somebody out here in Flatwoods one time. It was a good.
Prestonsburg used to be a powerhouse.
Russell Red Devils.
Well, no, that's the truth.
It is true.
Oh yeah,
It's the truth.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, they were
Prestonsburg used to be a powerhouse.
Yeah, they did. They used a really good team.
I remember coaching when I was at Russell. We went up to Prestonsburg, and they kind of like the Fort Thomas areas when we was at Russell. They just hammered us up
But
front.
you notice,
they beat us physically.
But you notice though,
But they're not
since
what they used to be.
Prestonsburg's not as good as they usually are, Johnson Central and Paintsville are better than they've ever been.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think that's a coincidence. I think that you kind of know what's happening there. Prestonsburg is really they're kind of just idling. You know, they're not real sure if they want to get better or they're just going to stay the same.
Well, it's hard.
Until I haven't seen Prestonsburg so far this year, and they may be really good. I know they run the wing tee.
Yeah.
Anytime you run the wing tee, it's a
time-consuming ball game.
It is.
They're going to take over the clock.
It is. Now, Betsy Lane is a team that they don't want no time consuming. They want to go Big 12 style. They're going to have a 30-second drive. They're no huddle, straight down the field. They want to throw the ball 70 times a game if they can. For that reason, I'm going to take Betsy Lane because they're going to complete a couple of those passes. So
I'm going to go with you on that one.
I'm going to go Betsy Lane.
I'm going to go Betsy Lane.
Because I just don't think, we talked about it before show, come on, matching scores, if you get in that game against a team that runs a spread, you're going to be in trouble.
You're going to be in trouble, you're right.
So I'm going to go Betsy Lane. Is that who you're going
I'm
with?
going to be like Lee Corso does on College Game
Not
Day.
so fast?
Not so fast. I think Prestonsburg's ball control, this early in the year,
got excited.
and the wing tee is going to be a challenge for Betsy Lane. I think a few stops on Prestonsburg's behalf, and it's going to be a different ball game.
I can see it. I can see it. I could. So you're going to go Prestonsburg.
21-14, close ball game.
Wow. Okay. Lawrence County and Harrison County. Lawrence County, boys, let me tell you something. Lawrence County was one of the best teams in 3A last year. And one of the games that got canceled last year that really, that would have been a great game to watch was East and Lawrence. That would have been a ball game. It got canceled literally an hour before East Carter was supposed to leave on the bus. Yeah. That would have been a heck of a ball game. They got a Gillespie kid coming back. I don't know if Fletcher comes back. I mean, that kid was phenomenal. Lawrence County had its best team it's had last year. And I know they had a team back in the late 2010s, back in like 2012 or something, it was undefeated.
Oh, yeah.
I think last year was their best team they've had since maybe the late 90s.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and remember when I think they went all the way to the semi-state championship game and lost to Fort Thomas Highlands.
Yes.
Do you remember that?
Yes.
And they kind of ran that spread. When they lost, it was looked like basketball. They lose 78-51. That's what it looked like.
Yeah, they scored.
So I think Lawrence County, we'll go back and say, kind of like East Carter, they return a lot of pieces that's used to winning.
Yes.
Give me Lawrence County. Harrison County really looks bad early in the year. They really turned it on at the end of the year last year, but Lawrence County. Give it to me.
Too many kids back for Lawrence County. I agree with you 100% there, Coach. I think Lawrence County's starting to fit in around here a little bit. They're coming back again.
Yeah.
Making that second round, coming back again. And I look for them to, I'm going to say 21-7.
Okay.
Lawrence over Harrison.
Shelby Valley, Letcher County Central. I'm gonna go. I'm telling you who I'm gonna go with here. Shelby Valley has one of the best quarterbacks in Eastern Kentucky, in Russ Osborne. Kid puts in the work in the off season. He goes to these camps. He does what he needs to do. He seems like a good leader. We actually got to see him out at Carter County's passing league tournament. I think they actually made it to the game field, which if you weren't familiar with it, they had three fields they played on. So they actually made it over there. I don't know a whole lot about Letcher County Central. I think they're in Johnson Central's district.
Yes.
They are. I think they're not.
Give me Shelby Valley to upset. I'm going to take Russ Osborne and the Wildcats.
Since I don't know a whole lot what you're talking about. I know about Shelby Valley, but I know Letcher. I don't know if
they're not bad.
So they wasn't last in that division.
Well, they may have been, but I mean, when you play.
But I know exactly what you're talking about. But I'm gonna go with Shelby Valley. Yes.
Russ Osborne Valley.
Not so fast.
Here we go.
I'm gonna go with Letcher County 7-6, close one.
Wow.
Miss extra point.
Missed
extra point.
Or somebody went for two and didn't get it.
No, what happened was Mark got a penalty, so they had to back the extra point up 15 yards, so it ended up being a 35-yard field goal to tie it, and they missed it. So we got a couple more games here. Leslie County, the Fighting Tim Couches. That's where Tim Couch came from, Leslie County.
Yeah.
They're going to play Martin County. I'm going to go Martin County, man. I think Martin County, this is the year they're going to challenge for that district. I think Martin County is going to be pretty good this year, and they better with all these new uniforms. They got black uniforms now. Have you seen them? They're not.
So they're not Sheldon.
No, they're Martin County now. See, I get in
That
trouble
was
for
Sheldon
that.
Clark, right?
Yeah, I get in trouble for
And
that.
they merged now, and now they're Martin County.
No, they didn't merge.
I thought they merged with the school around them.
I don't think they did.
They just changed the name.
I think they just changed the name.
Changed the name to Martin County.
I think they're just Martin County.
Okay.
And
I know it's in Martin County. I just want. I know it's.
yeah, I was on the phone. I did an interview down there last year with a
Sheldon
couple of their boys, and it was the mid-season of football. And my girlfriend called and she said, "Where you at?" So I'm at Sheldon Clark, and the receptionist looked at me. She goes, "This is Martin County." So
Okay, Martin County.
all right, it's Martin County. Whatever. That's what I always called it, because for a long time, when I played at Russell's, we had to play Sheldon Clark. So that's what I've always called it, and that's. I'm gonna go Martin County, and I think they thump it. Give me Martin County.
I'm gonna say Martin County.
Don't say it.
I think Coach Matney will be looking down on me smiling today, because I'm going to go big, 21-0.
Yeah, first coaching job, actually, first head coaching job.
Second.
What's
First
second?
head coaching job, second coaching job.
Right.
Yes.
remember him coaching.
He coached
He
Dick
took-
Roddy at Belfry at his home school.
Right.
And then he went over and took over the program.
When he took over Sheldon Clark, they were terrible. I mean, they were awful.
And not only did he bring the wrestling program up, he brought the football program up.
Right.
And
Well, that usually follows. Anytime you see, you usually see wrestling.
Oh yeah.
And I think all schools should have a wrestling program. Why don't you?
It helps you.
Why
Definitely.
don't you? In
Helps
the
you.
trenches.
It
has to.
does.
Street-wise.
It has to.
Yeah. Your linemen.
Another game here.
Skill players.
Paintsville Floyd Central. I think Paintsville cruises. I think the Phelps kid and Paintsville big. Give me Paintsville big.
Paintsville big.
Harris Phelps is our running back coach. Isn't that his name?
Mm-hmm.
Stud. Paintsville.
Yeah.
I think I said something to you earlier without even looking, which I was wrong on it. But I look at Paintsville 28-0.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. All right.
That's a good pick.
Coach's favorite team, Johnson Central, plays Lafayette, which is the biggest school in Lexington. I believe it goes Lafayette, then it goes like Henry Clay, Paul Lawrence Dunbar, Frederick Douglass.
So Lafayette's the biggest school.
Lafayette is the biggest school by enrollment in Lexington, and I don't know, they may be the biggest school in the state. It's close.
Wow.
I don't know. Johnson Central.
I'm gonna say Johnson Central. I mean, I don't know a whole lot about Lafayette. I know
When you got that many kids, they got to be decent.
you got to have some kind of talent on that team. The only thing Johnson Central in the past years, and I know they got the talent, and I know they like to, they like to bully you, but they don't have a lot of tremendous speed a lot of years.
Yeah.
But they do have, they will, you let them line up against them, and they will bully you and push you around the field. It's going to be a long night.
But they're young. We've seen it. Johnson Central's line is young a little bit.
But I'm going to say Johnson Central.
Let me just say this. I'm going to add this in. I'll probably get in trouble for saying this.
That's fine.
MJ's like, if you're an elite athlete in Lexington, you go to Frederick Douglass.
Yes.
If you're an elite athlete in Lexington, you go to LCA. You're rarely seen at Lafayette. And it didn't used to be like that, because a lot of the elite athletes played for Henry Clay.
Yeah.
And now that you've got, like you said, Great Crossings just right down the road in Georgetown, you've got Frederick Douglass, who is, they're the hot, flashy new toy that everybody wants to try out, And I know that sounds goofy, but it is what it is, man.
Coach McPeak looks like he's got a small college team.
He does, and their field's nice, their school's nice.
Their weight, if you've ever been in their weight room, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, I've actually seen pictures of it.
And, Coach McPeak's always got, he's a great coach.
He is.
He knows how to get the guys
Excuse me,
motivated.
Lexington Catholic needs to be put in that conversation.
Yeah, yes.
Some years.
But I'm gonna go, Coach. I want to wish first my dear friend Coach Peck
Yeah.
the best this year. I know he's taken over the shoes of a legend, and I spent 12 years there. I was there during the good years, and they've all been good years. And I look for Johnson Central to not change nothing too much. They're gonna make a run for the playoffs and the state championship run again. Where I think they're going to get them, Lafayette's got a lot of skill, a lot of quick, fast kids. Johnson Central doesn't have that speed this year like they had past. They're young again.
Wait a minute. Johnson Central used to have speed? When did that happen? Did we miss that? I remember it's easy to run straight down the middle of the field when you got 350-pound linemen hitting linebackers.
That's what I always said.
What is he talking about?
Johnson Central, they were a team that bullied. And they got.
And when I say that, I'm kidding. I'm just talking. I'm really bragging on how good
I'm no
their
longer
offensive line
coaching.
is.
And I'm retired. I can open up and tell you
Their offensive line has always been
brutal.
so good.
Practice was there was brutal. Monday
it.
through Thursday, literally offense against defense, 11 against 11. Very seldom did you see a player going both ways there. We did, but on those days we pretty much put him on the offensive side if he was a defensive starter and offensive starter, and he went the offensive unit, and we figured out some more defensive guys. But physicality. And you said it a while ago that Jim established the wrestling program, and most are elite athletes, and every lineman.
Johnson Central state championship worthy team in wrestling.
Yeah, and that's the way it is. That's what I see them doing in Lafayette.
Yeah,
they're going to take them and win that trench war, and they're just going to just overpower them.
And I'll tell you, I'm guilty.
Like I always said, bully them. That's what they do.
I am guilty. And a lot of coaches know this around here because I'll start talking about it after games. I am very guilty of not watching running backs, quarterbacks, or receivers. I'll watch what happens at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
Because it's almost like getting a book and just opening up the last 2 pages and reading the ending. Because I'm telling you, if you can't win the trenches, you can't win up front. You will not win the game in 90% of the game.
Well, you got to think in the 12 years I was there, I had the opportunity. A lot of state record holders. J.J. Jude, one of the finest athletes I've ever been around, one of the hardest work discipline athletes I've ever been around. Joe Jackson, and the list goes on. I can't, I'll keep on going. But every one of those guys, I'll tell you, I was with them last year. When you got a guy 6'6", 6'7", 385 pounds, you want him to win the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
But this cat going down to second.
That's what I'm saying. He's got the second and third level.
Then like that, and get and here again. It's about believing in the program and there's a lot of teams. I can tell you right now that Johnson Central, Ashland, they put it in the weight room. I'm gonna just tell you right now, they put it in the weight room, and that's a big challenge to any team you got to play on Friday night. I'm telling you what, when these teams get in the weight room like they do on the off seasons, and I know Coach Tackett's not changed anything up here on that behalf, and I know Jesse Peck's not changed anything. These are 2 new first-year coaches. Yeah. They've not changed the system any. It's going to be, I'll tell you what, it's going to be tough. It's going to be fun to watch.
Speaking of Johnson Central, we're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we're going to have a little talk, and we're going to have some outlooks. I just need to document this outlook. That way, later on in the season, I can pull up this clip and be like, remember when you said this? Remember when you said this? We'll be back on the Cool Hits TV and EKA Sports Media Network.
Gillum Drug, 1237 Carter Avenue, Ashland, is a locally owned pharmacy devoted to providing excellent customer service, not found at the chain drug stores, and Gillum Drug will treat you like family. Stop by today and experience it. Gillum Drug, next to Domino's.
Go ahead. You want one of these? You want me to get you one of these?
Yeah.
We are back, and guys, one more thing before we're going to try to get out of here. I got to help him clean up. He's done way too much for us. Give me a bold prediction for week 1. Not a score result. Give me a prediction that you think will be the most surprising headline come Saturday morning. You want me to go first? That way you can think about it.
Yeah, go ahead.
I think Greenup wins by multiple scores over Fleming.
Okay. Well, mine's going to say this. Raceland gets it done.
That's not a bold prediction. You're wild.
You said headline.
I said a bold prediction that will be a headline Saturday morning. Yeah, it'll be a headline.
Well,
It's the actual paper.
That's gonna be a Sunday morning.
Is that just for this
Saturday
week,
morning.
or is that for this year?
Just
This week?
Just put it no. What'd you say? You said Greenup's gonna do what now?
Greenup will beat Fleming by multiple scores. And you gotta remember.
That's a bold prediction.
You gotta remember.
Okay,
Greenup
well,
had a coach that passed away from COVID.
That's the
last
bold
year.
prediction. Raceland gets it done.
But you also said early in the show that if Ashland won, it would surprise you.
It would be surprising, but Raceland gets it done. I said 35-14 Raceland.
Wow.
I mean, I might have a lot of people, come at me, but that's
Whoa.
And I like that though.
You
But
better walk in with flowers over at Willersburg.
I'm good.
You got people going
Hey,
after
all I
you.
can say is good luck to both teams.
Yeah, the main thing is nobody
But-
get hurt.
Raceland gets it done.
What do you think, Coach?
I'm going to go. I'm going to go with the Johnson Central Lafayette game. I'm going to say Coach Peck fills big shoes.
Now, I'll go a step further. I don't think those shoes will ever be filled. I think those are almost impossible shoes to fill because anytime anything goes wrong, you know what people are going to say? Well, that wouldn't have happened if Matney was a
Well,
coach.
Matney was there, but you got to also understand the tradition up there that Coach Peck's grandfather was the first Johnson
I
Central
know that
football coach.
he is Johnson Central in and out. I
And
understand
Coach
that.
Peck's Johnson Central in and out. But I just think, it is tough. And then they made it back to the state championship last year.
Yep.
And they had under Steve Trimble
Yep.
stepping in for coach.
Right.
And they came together. But I just think, this is his first year. Those are big shoes to fill, legendary shoes to fill.
Mount
And that's-
Rushmore shoes to fill.
Mount Rushmore for shoes. Correct. And I think that'll be the thing in the paper.
Well, I think we're going to get out of here. Sheldon's getting hungry. He was doing the McDonald's song during the timeout earlier. And I asked him what he was doing. He says a Kentucky Fight song, didn't he? Didn't he say that? We appreciate MJ McKay coming on. I appreciate
thank you,
both you
MJ.
guys being here. You going to come back next week? You going to do a show with me next week?
I will try to.
And you know I'm going to
If my
have
work
pickups
schedule-
updated, right?
If my work schedule allows me to,
I'll call your boss and say, hey, Sheldon's going to do a show with me here.
I'll be here anytime I can.
Of course, we want to thank Cool Hits for letting us use the studio down here, and we're proud to announce that we have a partnership with them, and they're going to help us out at East Carter for the next few years. And there's some exciting things going on around here. Like I said, I remember when me and Sheldon and me and Sean were in my living room, so it is what it is. We've been blessed with opportunity, and there's been some hard work going into it, and there's a lot of days you wake up and you say, do I want to continue to do this? But we keep going the right ways, and we're making good decisions, and this is where it gets us. So,
Well, MJ, Sheldon, I'll call you Coach. I'm used to calling everybody Coach. You don't get that expensive.
I mean, he knows what I know what I'm talking about.
But-
That's why he calls me Coach.
I want to thank you guys for allowing me to come out here. It's different.
Yeah.
Not been on a field in 32 years,
It's
but
good. It's enjoyable.
but
No
this
pressure.
is enjoyable and it's fun and it's relaxing and I want to see all these predictions. Hey, we can close them out. I want to see the young men in all these teams progress.
Yeah.
Maybe one day be a college player.
Right.
But most of all, I want to see some representation from single A to 6A in our areas around here. State championship team.
The most important thing
Hope they
for
all can
me,
go.
and I think football plays a big role in this. I don't care if you play college football.
That's right.
I don't care if you even go to college. I want you to be a good person when you leave. And I'm telling you that people will bash football sometimes. It teaches you discipline that you wouldn't get taught in other places.
Sportsmanship, discipline, and plus, let me tell you something. It takes the kids off the streets
Right.
and back, because I'm going to tell you something, communication and the telephone has really destroyed people's lives now.
Well, I'm guilty of that.
Yeah, we all are. But to see the kids come out and play a sport where they could be doing something else.
Right.
Hey, that's, to me, I always said, it wasn't the coaching, it wasn't the state championships that made me cry. It's the things when the guy comes back 10 years from now and said, Coach, I want you to see my family.
Yeah.
I want you to see my kids.
Yeah.
I got a great home, and thank you for making it possible, for giving me the direction. Well, that, as a coach, stands out more than any state championship.
Well, again, we want to thank Cool Hits, MJ McKay. He's going to be with us all season long. Maybe not after this, not after tonight. He didn't know it was going to be like that. He's going to be with us all season long. He worked his tail off, Sheldon, trying to get everything going.
Oh, I see.
I appreciate him so much. Of course, Dickie Tiller, Jim Forrest. We just are very, very blessed to be in the situation we are. And we will be back next Tuesday at the same time, same place. And any final thoughts?
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for having us.
Good luck to all the teams in the area and coaches and cheerleaders and trainers and bus drivers to get the kids there safe, and hope you have a good, successful season.
For Spencer Hutchinson, Sheldon France, Mark Salyers, and MJ McKay, this has been a presentation of Eastern Kentucky Athletics and Cool Hits TV.